In this video we're going to take a look at the TOPDON Artidiag Pro, which is TOPDON's top of the line in the mid-level diagnostic segment. Stay tuned. Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Marcus and this is Tech and Cars. So in the previous video I did a review on the Artidiag 600S, and today we're going to take a look at the Artidiag Pro. This is the top level diagnostic tool from the TOPDON mid-level diagnostic tool segment. It will be really interesting to see what this instrument is all about, because the difference between this and the 600S is of course maintenance features. You have 31 possible services you can do with special functions. So besides reading codes, you can actually tell the car to do something, change the setting in the car. This is all due to having a bidirectional control. Not just reading from the car, also writing from the instrument to the car. So I'm going to do an unboxing on the instrument, and in the second half of the video we're going to try this on the old generation 9.5 to see if this is better than the 600S. So let's move on with the unboxing. So here we have the box. It's quite a big box, and that is because the Artidiag Pro comes in a case. One of my complaints for the 600S was that they didn't supply a case with the unit. I know it's a bit cheaper, however this comes in a very big case, a sturdy case, plastic case. So let's see what the case is all about. So here you go. It says TOPDON on the case, of course. And let's open it up and see what we have inside. You have these locking tabs here. Alright. So here you have the case. And small manual. Of course a user manual and a quick start guide. Plenty of cables and different adapters. Let's take up the instrument first and have a look. Yeah, feels good. So it has a 7-inch display, 6100 milliamp hour battery, and it's running Android 7.0. You have a kickstand on the back, so you can easily angle it any way you like in the car. Maybe on the steering wheel or anywhere else. Really nice. Here on the top of the instrument you have power on button, power off, connector for the OBD cable, and a DC plug charging port. So no USB-C charging on this one. You actually get a special USB cable for that. So you have a DC plug and you have a USB type A connector. So either you can use this to charge the unit, or you can actually let the unit charge while it's connected to the car. You have of course a wall charger supplied for this USB cable, and you can actually change this to, now it's currently for the EU market. You also have a UK adapter, and you also have a power adapter for the US market, separate one. Let's move on with the cables here. You have this is the OBD cable. So in one end you have a D-sub connector. You have D-sub connectors in both ends. This has a bit more pins, and this connects to the different adapters. So the bigger one is in the instrument up here, and the other one is in one of the adapters that TOPDON supply with this tool. The most common one is the OBD connector. You all know this, it's familiar to all you guys doing diagnostics. And this is the one we're going to use in the SAAB old generation 9.5. So I can already attach this to the cable. You have a screw here on the sides to secure it. Really nice. And let's take a look at the length. I think this is a bit longer than the 600S cable. So let's see. Maybe this is about 2 meters, I believe. Quite okay. You can even stand outside the car doing diagnostics, which is nice. And then you have some different adapters here. This is some kind of bypass. There are adapters for special connections in Mercedes and BMW, I think. Here is another one. You have a round interface in this end, and in the other end you of course have the D-sub connector for the cable. So you still have the same cable, but you can change the connector for the OBD outlet in the car. Same goes for this one. Looks kind of, yeah, I don't know, old perhaps. But anyhow, it's great that they supply some different connectors for different car brands. But most of you guys, you have this OBD2 connector. So let's move on now from the unboxing to actually starting up the instrument and taking a look at the software. So you have the power on off button up here. We just hold that one to make the instrument start up. And you get this symbol on the screen with a wrench in the car. And while it's starting up, now it's showing the TOPDON logo. Let's talk about the specs. It has a 7-inch screen. It's 2024 x 600 pixels. You have a 4-core CPU at 1.5 GHz. And as I told you before, we have a 6100 mAh battery, which makes it possible to use this on a very long, for a very long time. And you have Android 7.0. Operating voltage is 9 to 18 volts, because when you connect this to the car, it will start to charge. Yeah, dimensions 246 times 139.5 times 34 millimeters, and it weighs around 805 grams. So now the screen went down to a dimming mode here, I see. If we press the power button once, it lights up. So in this Artidiag Pro you have a few different options. You have Diagnose, Services, OBD2, that's the generic diagnostic section, I&M, Inspection and Maintenance. You can also check the battery voltage over here. And you have the upgrade icon, which makes it possible to upgrade the different software modules in this, both the main app and all the different modules for the different car brands and models. And you can of course save your data, and you also have settings. So let's go into the settings. You can change units of measurement, you can have the screen capture function on, you have that in the 600S as well. You have automatic detection on connect, so when you connect this to the car, it will run a diagnostic on the car. You can change the display, the brightness, sound. You also have network capability. Of course, the network is something that you actually need when you're running this in the car. So later on, when we are going to try this in the old generation 9.5, I will have my phone as a hotspot and have the instrument connected to Wi-Fi via the phone. Some functionality needs a network connection, so if you plan on using this in the garage or in your workshop, it's probably no issue, because there you have Wi-Fi. Let's see, we have date and time, language, expiration date. So basically what this means is that you have a software subscription. So when you start the instrument for the first time, you have 2 years of software subscription. So in that time you can upgrade all the modules. When your subscription runs out, you are stuck on the modules you had the date that the subscription ran out. So if you want to update anything, you actually need to buy a subscription. But I mean, they're continuously working on the software modules. They're updating all the time. Since this is top of the line in their mid-level diagnostic segment, it requires some kind of subscription for the guys to develop all the modules and all the things you can do. On the 600S you have free updates, but that instrument, it's not capable of the same things that the Pro is. So let's get back here. You have the upgrade I talked about. You need to have a network connection for that. I currently don't. Here you will have a list of all the updates that you can select and download for the different brands. So you don't need to download everything. You can select the things you're interested in and download only that. You have the data here. So when you are doing a health report scan on your car, you can save the scan. You can send the scan to an email address. It's really professional way of documenting what you have done to your own car, or if you have done something to a customer car. Yeah, so this is just basic stuff. I'm not going to go through everything. You can send feedback and for the company and so on, and they have the frequently asked questions here, which is really nice. So let's go back. And you have the battery voltage. You can look at the battery voltage in your car over a certain time if you're interested in that. You have the I&M option. Same here, we need to be connected to the car for this to work. If we look in the diagnose section, you have auto detect, which can detect your VIN, and by that it can also detect the brand of your car, model, engine and so on. You have different categories. You have American, European, Asian. You can go to European and you can just scroll through all the different European brands. American, GM for example, Jeep, Ford, Cadillac, and you also have the Asian market, of course, which is quite big, that as well. So in the European section, let's just check that we have SAAB. Oops, sorry. I saw it. I accidentally choose something else. There it is. And that's the version of the software and just some release notes for that version. And before diagnosing, we should connect it to the car, perhaps. Before the diagnose starts, please confirm that the device has been connected to the vehicle's OBD. And yes, we are going to do that. And you also have services. And this is all the different services that you can do with the instrument. This does not mean that you can do all of this on the old generation 9.5. So when the instrument is connected to the old generation 9.5, we can see what kind of modules we can communicate with, and inside those modules there will be so-called special functions, which this is. Just to mention a few, maybe you have some issues with your automatic gearbox, harsh shifting, downshifts, whatever. You can actually do a reset of the adaptive values, so to say. So the gearbox can relearn the how to change gear. And you also have something that is called gas particulate filter regeneration. So it's not only the diesel engines nowadays that have a filter, it's also in the petrol engines. So cars could start complaining that they need to regenerate their filter. Either you can take it for a long drive, maybe 30 minutes, or you could run the function here, gas particulate filter regeneration. This is not something that we have in the old generation 9.5, by the way, so don't worry about that. I'm interested in what we can do with the old generation 9.5, how much information can we get out from the instrument, and what can we actually do with the car? Can we write some settings, etc. And that will be very interesting to see. So this covers the introduction of the instrument, and the most interesting thing is now to see how this works in the old generation 9.5. So let's move on to the car. So we're in the old generation 9.5 now, and the instrument is running, it's charging, it's 100%. Wi-Fi is connected through the phone's hotspot, which is great, so the instrument can communicate with the internet if necessary. So let's pick SAAB here. See what we can do. 2005. Let's take a look at the engine. Trionic. You have some data stream here, 134 parameters, which is great when diagnosing. Also, you can view this while driving the car, of course, if it's related to that certain moments. Special functions, gas converted, not really sure what that is, I'm not going to do that. Diagnostic trouble codes, you can read fault codes, etc. Let's go to the body perhaps, let's see what we can do in twice. So in twice we have some special functions here. We can change the sound indication at TSL, you know, the horn honking. TSL by 2 times at remote control. Here you have 0 milliseconds because I don't have any sound. I disabled that. Got a bit tired of it. Belt warning sound, speed dependent locking of trunk. Oh yes, I have 4 kilometers per hour, and then the car locks the trunk. Yeah, quite a lot of things you can do in the twice module through this instrument, which is nice. Let's take a look at the maybe the power mirror memory, PMM. Actuation test. We can pull the mirror in, out, etc., up, down. Right mirror out. Okay, you can't see it, but I can guarantee that the mirror is turned all the way out. We can do right mirror in. I can guarantee you once again that the mirror is changing position, which is nice. We can turn it off. Like if you want to diagnose if it's something wrong with the connector or the the button changing the mirror, etc. You can do this to check that it's not the mirror itself that is the problem. Great. 19 different parameters can be read here. I'm not going to go through all of these today, but if you have any particular questions regarding anything related to the Artidiag Pro and the old generation 9.5, just drop me just put a comment in the comment section. Compact disc changer, I actually removed that from this car, so it don't have any compact disc changer. No. So let's see if we go back here. Let's see what we can do. We have diagnose again. Let's see what happens if we do auto detect. It's currently trying to find the VIN for the car. Let's see if it can manage. Makes that really cool sound when doing it. You can also turn the speaker off, of course, in the instrument if you don't like this. Okay, so we're going to skip that. Yeah. So what happens if we just pull the connector and insert it? Will the instrument do something? Let's see. Okay, it's back. Okay, so now it's doing this automatically. Yes, I want to exit. Let's see what we have more. Let's go back here. SAAB, okay. 2005. Transmission. TCM, transmission control module. Let's see if it can communicate. Yeah, it can read diagnostic trouble codes, of course. No trouble code, I know that. Data streams from the TCM, 33 different parameters. Which is nice. So what else can we do? We can go into the generic OBD2 mode and see what happens. I mean, this is a bit better than the Artidiag 600S, but still, the SAAB old generation 9.5, it really requires the Tech 2. Except for the twice section here, I was a bit surprised that they had this much functionality of the twice. So it failed, yeah. Let's go back. Let's try services. I guess you have a lot of functionality here, but not for these old GM SAAB cars. I mean, you most of the things here you cannot even do on this car. There's no need for resetting battery, there's no TPMS, etc. There is no gas particulate filter regeneration necessary. No sunroof in this car. No electronic parking brake, etc. So yeah, it seems to have an upgrade here. So there is a new software all the time. Now it's from for the Fiat, Abarth, Alfa Romeo, Lancia. Cool. So that basically wraps up the video. If you have any particular questions regarding the different things you have seen so far with the Artidiag Pro and the SAAB old generation 9.5, don't hesitate to put a comment in the comment section, because it would be interesting to see what kind of things you are looking for. Okay guys, that's it. Let's turn the instrument off and also the car off. So that was the Artidiag Pro on the SAAB old generation 9.5. As you saw, we could do a lot of things in the twice section, however not so much in the other sections. It's still nice. Artidiag Pro is still a good tool with updates for a lot of brands and models, and it's kind of understandable that they don't update the modules for the SAAB cars anymore. You still need a Tech 2 if you have a SAAB. You can do so much things with the Tech 2 that you cannot do with another instrument. So if you have a SAAB, get a Tech 2, no other instrument. The Artidiag Pro, however, it's a nice tool. I will dig deeper into this on other car brands and models, and hopefully something will come up real soon so I can show off this tool a bit more to you guys. So that was today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care and drive safe.